How's it going, guys? My name is Ishan, and in this video we're going to be going over the massive news that just broke out for Virgin Galactic stock, plus why this is just the start of their massive growth going forward as well. And along with that, we're also going to be going over a quick small risk, because as always you got to weigh the pros and the cons with any stock. So we're going to be talking about the risk that a lot of people tend to overlook with the company, and as always an in-depth technical analysis at the end. So if you appreciate these short and value-packed videos, make sure to drop a quick sub and let's clock in. So Virgin Galactic is a stock we've talked about a lot on this channel, and as you can tell, I'm pretty bullish. I called it a screaming buy when it was at $16, and since then we're up a really good amount. So the massive news that broke out for Virgin Galactic is that they inked yet another deal with NASA. Let's go! And that's just on the back of them already signing a deal a couple months ago. And going more into the specifics, they won the contract along with another company called Marston Space Systems, and basically in this deal they will provide flight and integration services for payloads and basically flight technology payloads on platforms that provide high altitude, reduced gravity, or other relevant environments required to test and advance the technologies. In other words, they're just taking NASA's technology, taking it up to space, and just seeing if it works. That's basically it. So the contract is a whooping $45 million, which doesn't sound that crazy, honestly, but here's why this is actually really big news and super important, super important. Similar to what we've been talking about with Palantir, the more reliant you make the government on you and your services, and so this is where it starts for Virgin Galactic. The more and more they prove their worth and really show that they can offer quality services through these small contracts, the higher chance and probability they have of winning those larger contracts and actually being able to contend for those. So that's why I believe this is just a start of something so big. As we know, the government's really been pushing to give private companies more contracts, and so if Virgin Galactic can prove their worth with these small contracts and really show that their technology works and can provide value for the government, it will make the government more reliant on them and make them want to use them even more. But there's another reason why I believe that Virgin Galactic's growth is only starting to explode, and that's because of their change in leadership. That's right, change in leadership. Leadership is key. They appointed Michael Colglazier as their new CEO. He was previously the president and managing director of Disney Parks, and he replaced George T. Whitesides, who now serves as the company's chief space officer. By doing this, someone like their former CEO George, you've now put him into a position where he's doing his thing. He was already more focused and well versed in the technology side of the business. So by making him the chief space officer and having him in that arena where he's really good at, that's just going to allow the guy who knows his stuff to focus on that and grow that department and grow the technology and make it better. Meanwhile, someone like Michael Colglazier, their new CEO, who's more well versed in obviously running theme parks and building a great customer experience, he's going to be building that up as they push for their commercial launch. So that's just great news. You obviously want to see someone who knows his stuff doing that full time, and that's what you want from a good company. Good leaders like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they all know their thing and that's what they're focused on. But apart from that, let's talk about why the stock's rally is only getting started before we jump into the risks. Apart from all the UBS facts I've thrown at you guys before, such as how space tourism will be a $3 billion market by 2030, and the broader space industry will double to basically $800 billion by 2030, I want to give you guys a real good insight as to how large their business could actually be, which I don't see any other YouTuber doing. So first, let's start off with the facts. Only 550 people have ever been to space, so that in itself is a super rare experience. And from their last earnings report, we know that 900 deposits have been made, and that alone represents $225 million. But taking a look at some more in-depth stats, and this is from their earlier numbers in 2020, where deposits were slightly lower, most of the 600 people at that time who had signed up for rides had net worths topping $10 million. There are currently 1 million households in the US with net worths over 10 million. Even if 0.5% of them decided to go on a trip, that's a staggering 5,000 people or $1.25 billion in revenue. And if Virgin Galactic ends up living up to the experience and hype, that number could be far greater considering the potential expansions. I believe they're only about 2 FAA approvals away from actually beginning their commercial business, and their CEO said that in the near future they plan to do 400 flights per year per spaceport that they have. That will represent about $1 billion in revenue per spaceport, and considering that they should be able to meet this target by 2023 to 2025, my market cap target by 2023 is $25 to $30 billion. Currently the stock is only at a $6 billion market cap, so you can see the upside that it truly has. That's a pretty aggressive target that management has set, and so here's where the risks begin to start coming in. And that risk is shareholder dilution. This is a highly cash intensive business. As of their last round of funding, they had $741 million, mostly in thanks to raising $650 million by selling shares in August. And each aircraft costs about $35 to $50 million to make, then considering operating costs in general, which is losing them about $60 million per quarter. Considering they can make about 2 ships per year initially, they're going to be losing upwards of $340 million a year, not even considering many other costs that will come in along with them finally kickstarting their commercial business and then even expanding and creating other spaceports. They don't have any cash coming in from anywhere else, and even with the launch of their commercial business, that's not going to be enough to produce significant amount of cash flow to keep the business up and running. So shareholder dilution and the company selling even more shares down the line to raise capital is a risk I see happening, but not like a risk that is going to send the stock plummeting back to $0 or $5 or something like that. But it's going to put short-term pressure on the stock as they try to keep expanding. But you already know your boy is going to be holding through it. We're going to hold strong and sell when the gains have like tripled, quadrupled, and quintupled. I don't know if that's even a word, but you already know we're going to hold firmly through that. As for a technical analysis, it looks like we're forming a double top, which could signal a reversal, but at the same time we're forming a triangle, which means that we could either squeeze higher or lower. If we break lower, we could see a pullback to $25. If we squeeze higher, I think we see all-time highs and hit $40 a share, because that seems like the only next resistance level. But the market is volatile and unpredictable, so what I recommend is waiting for a break higher or break lower, and that will be the confirmation to buy into. So make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know down below what you guys think about this massive news that broke out for Virgin Galactic, where you see the stock heading. Do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Come on, say it with me. Say it with me. Clocking out for now. Peace.